Good morning. I'm the Reverend Rachael Hayes, minister of the Unitarian Universalist Society of Amherst. Welcome to you, old friends and new, young and old, long-timers and visitors. You are an essential part of our celebration today. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, we are stronger because you are with us. We are one people of many beliefs, many origins, sexualities, and genders. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. Today, we are talking about pronouns, and we'll be practicing pronouns. You will need a notebook and a pen or pencil because we're really going to practice. And I'd like to speak specifically right now to those among us who get called by the wrong pronouns, either in this congregation or elsewhere in your life. I apologize for times I may have mispronounced you, and will thank you for sharing your correct pronouns with me. A lot of the things I'm going to say today will be pronouns 101, but some of the readings and music may speak to you. And I hope it helps to know that the congregation is practicing being thoughtful with our pronoun use. Today, I light our chalice with words by the Reverend Jamie Yandel. They are a hospice chaplain in South Carolina. They write, "We light this flame to ignite the sacred power of justice. We light this flame so that it may be a beacon of hope in moments of uncertainty, fear, anxiety, and the unknown. We light this flame and are emboldened by its blaze, knowing our strength as a prophetic and powerful people is rooted in the diverse ways we answer the call to love." At this time, I light the chalice on our altar, and I invite you to light a chalice, candle, or lamp where you are too. I asked you to bring a notebook, so if you just got here, we're really going to use it. This is your chance to find one. I am not dropping pearls of wisdom I think you need to catch, at least not more than any other day. But I encourage you to do a little short journaling during the service today. You see, we're talking about pronouns, and pronouns are language, and language only works when it's used. Think of the last time you worked on learning a language. That might be English, which I'm speaking right now. It might be specialized vocabulary for a new knowledge set you're working on. If I learned about welding or constitutional law or botany, I would have to learn and practice a lot of new words or new uses for words I already knew. It might be a language other than English. If I took up Spanish or French again, I would have to work on some pretty basic stuff because I haven't been practicing it. I haven't been using it. Today, I am not going to have wise thoughts about pronouns at you for you to learn intellectually. Today, we're going to practice pronouns. That's what the notebooks are for. As with many practices, I think the best way to start is with ourselves. Hi, I'm Rachel. I use she, her pronouns. My pronouns are she, her, hers. Now write your version of those sentences in your notebook. Introduce yourself. with your name and pronoun. How did that feel? Try it again. Hi, I'm blank. I use blank pronouns. All right, we're going to get a little funny next and talk about ourselves in the third person, like this. Rachel uses she, her pronouns. Rachel likes her coffee with milk in it. She has a very good dog. Just go. Stream of consciousness, write about yourself in the third person. What does that feel like? If you're still going, keep going. If you want to stop, that's fine. Maybe you feel acknowledged. Maybe you feel silly. Maybe you feel overexposed. You don't have to show anybody your notebook page. It's just practice for you. Now I invite you to observe around yourself. What pronouns have you used, heard, or read so far today? How were they used? Did you pay attention? Was it automatic? For the pronouns you have used in speech or writing today, which ones did you have to think about? Which ones did you know from long use? Which ones are based on what you've heard others say? Which ones did you use as unconscious guesses, probably based on assumptions you've made? Just notice. Don't judge, just notice. As you're thinking, let's listen to this song from Shay Diamond. She's a musician and transgender rights advocate, and I invite you to listen to the way that she uses pronouns in her song. Shay Diamond wrote I Am Her while incarcerated in a men's prison. Much of that time, she was isolated from the larger prison population, ostensibly to protect her, but functionally to control her and pressure her to be someone she's not. Reflect on what this song might mean to someone in her shoes, as she says in the song's intro. Reflect on what it might mean to repeat your correct pronoun in a system that denies who you are. Take a minute and write your thoughts. Thanks for spending some time with your thoughts there. Now let's try something new. With a spirit of play and curiosity, write about yourself using pronouns different than what you used earlier. Try he, him, or she, her, or they, them. Try another pronoun set you have seen or heard someone use, like this. Rachel left their jacket, but they came back and got it. Rachel sat on his cupcake. Oh no. Try it out, stream of consciousness, as much as you can when doing something that feels new, maybe. I am guessing that for many of us, it feels like folding your hands together with the wrong thumb on top. What did it feel like to hear yourself discussed with this other pronoun? Did it throw you off? Did it make you kind of curious, like maybe you want to keep trying it out? What did you learn? I have to confess to you all, the first time I heard myself described as they, them, not even by a person, but by a computer, it felt really wrong. It brought up my 9th grade English class where a lovely and, for the record, queer teacher drilled into us that it was never acceptable to refer to one person as they, ever. I love you, Ms. M, but that lesson is no longer true. Singular they is even in the dictionary now. People have long used they, them to talk about an unknown person, a hypothetical person, or someone whose gender they just don't know. The new thing, at least compared with Chaucer and Shakespeare's uses of singular they, is a person using they, them as their pronouns. And what's actually new is not that people are using they, them, but that society at large recognizes this as a possibility. I'll spend some time on they, them, because a lot of us are still working on using this language with ease. Notebooks ready? Write this one down. Someone left their phone. I hope they come back for it. I will put it on the shelf for them. Right, that is already in our vocabulary. That is not much of a stretch. Now let's talk about some known people. Write these down. Michael did a great job on their video. They are someone I admire. I hope I get to see them soon. Riff on that. Use they, them pronouns to write your own sentences about one person. The world of pronouns is not limited to he, she, and they. There are many other pronoun sets. Z, per, pers, fe, fair, fairs. Just as a couple examples, there are people who use multiple sets of pronouns, which you usually see written as he/they or they/she or such. And you would use both pronouns interchangeably, not just the one you like better. Like this. Sherry invited me to her party. They are a good friend. Or if you know someone well enough to ask them a personal question, you can ask them how they would like you to use their pronouns. There are people for whom any pronouns are acceptable. There are people who use their name or initial rather than pronouns. And this list is not comprehensive. Given how much this language had changed in the last 25 years since Ms. M decried singular they, I don't expect it to be timeless either. I remember just 7 years ago, we were talking about preferred gender pronouns. But now the saying is, my pronouns aren't preferred, they're required. That idea resonated so strongly across the internet that now I can't find the source of the quote. How we use and talk about pronouns will continue to change over time because that's what language does. The part that's timeless is treating people how they want to be treated, honoring their dignity and humanity, even if we need to do a little learning and a lot of practice. As trans public figure Jeffrey Marsh says, and by the way, do Google them, Jeffrey Marsh, you don't have to understand to have compassion. Even when you don't know what it's like to be someone else, you can still care about and respect them instead of analyzing or correcting them. Before we move on, I invite you to take some time. Is there anyone whose pronouns trip you up? Someone you know personally, a celebrity or public figure? Make a list. I encourage you to keep this list. Practice their names and pronouns. Practice until you associate their name and face with their pronouns. This isn't just semantics. This is people's lives. Trans youths whose pronouns are respected by the important people in their lives attempt suicide half as often as those who are repeatedly called by pronouns that don't fit them. Using someone's proper pronouns increases their chances of survival. This poem was written by the Reverend Teresa Ninan Soto. They are the minister of the First Unitarian Church of Oakland. They write, "Dear trans, non-binary, genderqueer, and gender-expansive friends and kin, and those of us whose gender is survival. You are not hard to love and respect. Your existence is a blessing. Your pronouns are not a burden or a trial. They are part of your name, just shorter. Some of our kin use only names where pronouns would be the names they are called. Remember that someone getting them wrong is not a poor reflection on you. It is not your fault. Your body really and truly belongs to you, no one else. The stories of your body, the names of your body's parts, your body's privacy, the sum of your body's glory. It is not okay for anyone to press their story of you back to the beginning of our liberation. We will find the people ready to be on the freedom for the people way. We will go on. No one can rename you other. It can't stick. as you offer the gift of being and saying who you are. Mostly, though, your stories belong to you. Your joy and complexity are beautiful, however you may choose to tell it or not tell it. Some folks, sis, may take their liberty for an unholy license. You are beloved. Please keep to our shared tasks of healing, getting free. Thank you, Reverend Inan. The reason I bring us back to practice, not understanding, is that language happens in time and in bodies. We are not learning something and expecting it to stick for all time. Expecting it to stick intellectually is no different than reading articles about swimming and expecting to become a champion swimmer. At some point, you have to get in the pool. Learning this is developing a skill, not installing a software patch. So maybe you've decided to get in the pool and practice, at least enough that you're not going to endanger someone else at the pool party. How can you do that? Well, the thing about practice is that you just do it by doing it. You pay attention to pronouns, how people are described, how they describe themselves. When you feel like you're noticing people's pronouns and you're comfortable using a variety of pronouns and not making assumptions so much, start at the beginning again. Say your pronouns when you introduce yourself to people you meet. Write them on your name tag. Put them in your email signature. Here in Zoomland, you can make them part of your name. And then others are more likely to share their pronouns with you. The great revolution here is not singular they, or the neopronouns, or any particular word or usage. The revolution is that we used to use pronouns to bypass each other's particularities, and now pronouns are a way to acknowledge that we see, know, and love each other. Please join me in prayer. Spirit of love and connection, we show up. We are called to put down our assumptions, old habits, and lessons. Help us to honor each other's worth and dignity. Help us to see, know, and love each other with every word we speak. Blessed be. Amen.